Hey, bucket listers. Welcome once again to another episode of the Bucket List Life podcast with me, your host, Trav Bell, the Bucket List Guy. And I'm so stoked that you've joined in, and we're live on a number of different channels right now. And if you're watching this later on, enjoy it. All right. For about, 20 minutes, half an hour, we're going to speak to our phenomenal guest, Agueda Nunes, over in Johannesburg, South Africa, who is one of our esteemed certified bucket list coaches. How are you going?
I am phenomenal. Thank you so much for a wonderful opportunity and such a wonderful introduction. Thank you, Trav. It's an honor to be here. Thank you.
Awesome. No, and straight off the bat, look, I'm so grateful for you because, being part of our certified bucket list tribe, our team, and I'll tell you what, if there's anyone within our circle, our tribe of coaches who embodies this message, it's certainly you. You've got some, a phenomenal story. But look, to start things off, I always ask this question, right? And it might throw you a little bit, but number one, you're in Joburg right now in South Africa. Remember those days when we were allowed to fly in planes? We can't do much of that right now because of lockdowns and quarantines and everything. But up until this point, what have you put on your incoming passenger card as your occupation?
So in my current occupation, bucket list coach. Proudly bucket list coach. If I was flying in, that's what I am. That's my purpose. And I believe I was meant to be here. And that's a whole different story, as you well know.
Yeah. What were you, what did you put on, before bucket list coach, what would you put on your incoming passenger card?
So I was the Altron Group recruitment manager. And I resigned from the organization last year.
Okay, cool. And
an IT company.
Okay, an IT company. And how long were you doing that for?
10 years.
10 years. Okay. And so really, what's led you up to be, a certified bucket list coach with us? What was it about bucket list coach that really stood out for you?
It's an interesting question. To answer you, I have to give you a quick rundown or a quick synopsis of what I call the tapestry of my life.
Right. Please.
So I qualified as a teacher many years ago. You won't go there. I became mom, got married, became mom to two amazing children, Jenna, who's now 22, Jordan, who's 18. I was always looking at empowering people and helping people. And it's always been, honestly, Trav, the call of my heart. And I wrote a kiddies book called Gombe in Fairyland. And then I found myself for 32 years in the IT industry. And I was very blessed to work in really top-notch organizations. And I found myself in those leadership roles, always empowering people and wanting to develop people. And it's in my nature. Yeah. And after I resigned, and there's a whole story behind that, which I won't go into now, I really took 2 months and I thought, what do I want to do with my life? What is my life's purpose? And because of a very traumatic incident and event that we went through, and, I may talk about it later, I really looked at my life and I thought, this is a pivotal moment. And in that moment...
Yeah, talk about it because it's, if you're okay with talking about it, because it's often, people join us and become a bucket list coach for a number of different reasons, and yours is certainly personal, and whether it be tragedy, the storm before the rainbow. We have an epiphany, and we've got coaches from all around the world now in 22 countries, all from different kind of backgrounds, and it was a pivotal moment, you say. So what happened? What did you have, go through to come to this decision?
Sure. Sorry, I still get emotional. So 4 years ago, my late husband was diagnosed with colon cancer. And, when you watch someone that you love, literally get eaten away by such a devastating disease, you really start to think about the meaning of life, And he was so courageous, and he really dealt with his journey with such dignity. And, it was a very bittersweet experience for our family. And I still cry.
Yeah.
Sorry. But, there were so many blessed life lessons. We are here, Trav, for such a short time, and we don't know we don't know the date. And to really not live, for me, to not live what I really believe is my life purpose it's just not an option anymore. And that's really in 3 sentences. And I apologize, I always get emotional. Sorry.
Oh no, I think every one of these would do. Someone, it's just that's the way it is, and as raw as it is, and as courageous as your husband was, hats off to you as well for being courageous and sharing with us, because it's this breakdown before breakthrough moment that kind of forces us to see the path for ourselves, and the fact that you want to embrace this, and you are embracing it, and the fact that you want to pay this forward is absolutely phenomenal. And that's what I want the people of South Africa and all that region to really understand about your passion for actually doing this and running these programs, most importantly, because you've got such a heart for helping people, and one hell of a story. And our whole philosophy, isn't it? Our whole philosophy is waking people up before they get given a use by date.
Correct. And
so they can have, or experience, should I say, a more meaningful, purposeful, fulfilled, no regrets life, rather than a regretful life, rather than Groundhog Day and then getting woken up at the last minute with a use by date given to them. So that's why we exist. And let's turn the tables a little bit. Well, all about you. So what have been, how we've got this reverse bucket list and future bucket list concept, what have been the 3, I guess, reverse bucket list highlights in your life?
Just for the audience, when we talk about our bucket list, we have what we call different segments. And one of them is meeting a personal hero. And it's so interesting that, given the story I've just shared, I was very blessed to live with my personal hero. So that was really as I said, a pivotal moment. And it was certainly a turning point in our lives for many reasons. The second that comes to mind is I'm a little bit of an adrenaline junkie, and my children know that. And December this past year, they bought me a gift for my birthday, which entailed a paragliding tandem jump off Signal Hill. And I did it.
This is what you just did the other day, didn't you?
Yes, I loved it. And my only concern was, damn, this is so short. I wanted it to last much longer. It was phenomenal. And in fact, my cousin wrote a message to me on WhatsApp and said, it's so wonderful to see the spirited you coming out. So, we have to live, we have to have joy. It was phenomenal.
Hey, look, just to interrupt before your third one, just Teresa, who is a dear friend of mine, has been in our bucket listers community for a long, long time, and we go back a long way. And Teresa wants to share, because she's been through some stuff as well, as right there on the screen from Facebook. There's no shame in feeling so deeply. So, you know, the more that we can be authentic, the more that we can be vulnerable, the more that we're actually helping other people. So, you know, thanks on behalf of everyone for doing that. Thanks a lot, Teresa. And guys, while we're doing this too, we are live on a number of different channels. And if you've got any comments, then feel free. Last one, reverse bucket list item.
You know, it's I can list 1,001, but there was also a very important moment in my life where I needed to really take a step forward, and it was really the change between, and it was really facing a fear. One of my greatest fears was being on social media. One of my greatest fears was doing exactly what you are making me do today. Thank you. So, you know, we talk about facing a fear. Hello, here I am.
Yeah, no, this is it. Yeah, this is it for a lot of people. Don't worry, we've all got fear around social media, I think. To make matters worse, or should I say better, because at the other end of this, you'll be like a new person. On the other side of our bucket list is a version, a bigger version of us that we do not know yet. And that's what we've got to put ourselves in this uncomfortable situation. So right now, Agueda, we're on my page, on my Trav Bell the Bucket List Guy page. We're in 2 groups right now, streaming live on my personal page as well, on LinkedIn and on YouTube. Does that make it worse?
No. I've taken the leap of faith. I've jumped off mountains. I'm going to do this. I'm going to believe.
Nothing. You are doing this.
We're having a cup of tea.
Oh, we are. just shaking a little bit. Okay, so top 3 things you are yet to do on your future bucket list. Go.
So I definitely want to continue writing the series for Gombe. Yeah. And I want to publish a book. That is definitely a biggie for me. I definitely, if I look at a second element, I want to join a soup kitchen. You know, we talk about, people say, oh, the bucket list, you just want to jump off mountains. And we are not about that at all. We are so much about giving back. So I have approached our local church, but the food kitchen is closed at the moment. Yeah. And for me, a third element is everything along the line of legacy. So yes, my children are my legacy. In terms of December, I passed down our wedding bands for the generations. Joe's wedding band to my son had my name on, and my wedding band to my daughter with Joe's name on. So for me, going forward, it's really to build a legacy. And what is a legacy? And for me, the legacy, I was talking to a cousin yesterday, is, please God, when my time is done, the people will say, you know what? She touched our lives. And I want to leave those values, those core values in my children, which Joe already started, and I want to continue that legacy.
Yeah, phenomenal. Hey guys, if you're watching, if you're listening, if you're interacting, engaging with our podcast right now, it's kind of like a video. I guess we can call it a podcast still. It'll end up on the podcast at some stage. But I want you to type in, what are your top reverse and future bucket list items? You can separate them out. What are your top, reverse bucket list? So what have you done and what do you want to do? What's the top things? And look, put them in the chat provided there, and that'll pop up and I'll share them on the screen. Hey, look, let's pivot for a second. So we've already covered, like, what was the kind of top reason that you became a certified bucket list coach and decided to join our tribe? What was the top reason?
You know, it really talks back to the tapestry of my life, as I said earlier, becoming a teacher, wanting to always help people. It doesn't matter where I found myself in my life. In every role, I've always had an innate, natural need to help. And And that is why I'm a coach. I
Yeah.
want to know that I'm, please God, able to inspire people to aspire to live a life with purpose, not just that humdrum of wake up, normal, go to bed. There's more to life. It's that simple. It's not complicated for me, Trav.
Yeah, what's a good example? I mean, we've just started over there in South Africa, and what's a good example of someone you've either helped you through one of your paid programs or for free thus far, and where you've done some of the programs, done some of the programs with them, and they've really embraced it and gone for it? What's some of the examples or results that you've been able to achieve?
Well, as you know, Trav, we do sometimes say to people, you can take this and gift it to somebody. And there was a situation where a friend of mine gifted it forward to someone else, a young lady, very anxious, what are you coming to see me for? What is this about? And I said, relax, I've got you. I chatted to her on WhatsApp. And Trav, when I arrived there, and obviously I'm not going to mention her by name, she was completely closed. She was, yes, wouldn't look at me. And very gently, I started working. And we don't normally do one-on-ones, but I was asked specifically to do this one-on-one. And of course, my heart being big, I said, let me do that. Anyway, when we got to E, which is express yourself, she said, yeah, express myself. And there was just so much sadness in her expression. So I sat back and I let it flow. And I tell you, Trav, within 2 minutes, this young woman opened her heart. I couldn't even believe what she shared with me. It was an outpouring of pain, of, things that she had encountered in her life. And she said to me, you are the second person I've ever shared that with. And, it's such a privileged and honorable moment when someone literally opens their heart to you. And I don't want to scare the listeners off by saying, oh, does this mean I have to divulge? It wasn't about that. It was just a moment of pure vulnerability that somebody needed the space to grow in. So that was
God, that's beautiful. Yeah, that's your right place, right time, and I absolutely love that. And yeah, like you said, it is a privilege. Look, we've got some comments there once again from Teresa. Reverse, so many, but the top 3 of hers are graduating with an MBA, champion. Well done, mate. Flying a plane and travelling to the island my dad was born on with my dad, who's 56. Years after he's left. So, phenomenal share there, Teresa. Oh, she's got more. Look out. And then future. Like I said, Teresa was very involved with this, so she's an absolute weapon. Future, run a marathon. Really? Run a marathon, Teresa. Very nice. All right, we'll have to talk about that. Marry a man who deserves me.
I like that.
Oh, that's I got lots to say there. And officiate a wedding. There you go. Hey, each to their own. I absolutely love it. The cool thing is we really do unpack this for individuals, don't we? Like when we go and run programs, there's some weird and wonderful stuff that comes out, right? And it's, for a lot of people that are listening to this or watching this, you might be thinking, oh yeah, bucket list, I can go and write a bucket list and then go do it. But it's really not just about ticking a whole bunch of cool stuff off. It's really about how our coaches help the clients, both individuals, families, and also within companies, reverse engineer every aspect of their life in order to make this stuff come to fruition, right? It's really about the growth of the person on the journey towards these self-imposed destinations. But more importantly, and this is what I want people to get excited about and curious about, it's all about the person that exists on the other side. And that's the person that we don't know yet, right? That's called our potential. And that's when the lights go on. And, that's what a basic human need is, to seek more of our own potential. But the fact is, and Agueda, you've seen this, is is people are dying at 40 and being buried at 80. You know, they're on Groundhog Day. They're just existing, not living. And, you know, it's pretty cool to be able to, you know, sort of wake people up. This might be just the icing on the cake for other people, though, right? And would it be fair to say, look, when you go run your programs, you're like a compass, aren't you? You know, helping people recalibrate on their life. Or can you sort of, you know, speak to that?
I like that analogy, Trav. It's a very clever analogy, because in one of my workshops, one of the ladies came to me afterwards and said, I didn't realize how lost I was. I had no plan. I had no direction. And it's exactly that. With almost unwittingly, I became that compass through the program that you've developed. Spot on, Trav. I agree with you. Yes.
Yeah. So what's something that unique or different about what you do for people, or something unique about our process that really gets people engaged in this?
You know, I really have to thank you for, first of all, the program that you've developed, and secondly, for really empowering us as your coaches. You know, you're not that person who says, this is mine and it's got to be this way. You want us to own it. You want us to make it our own. So first of all, I need to thank you for that. And Trav, what I felt worked for me, I wanted to adapt it to my personality and to the people that I work with. So what I've done is I've taken the program, and in the workshop, I do the introduction for about 2.5 hours. People get to know each other. I go through what they need. And then I give them a week to go away and to really work on this list, because it's such a life-changing experience that I don't want to rush them. That's my view. So they go away, we then re-meet for an hour or so, we share, and then I get them to commit to a 90-day list. What are you going to do in the next 90 days to really empower yourself? And then I do a follow-up call. So I really carry the bucket list program through 3 stages. That's what I believe has made it unique for my people.
Yeah, and that's how it's been designed. You know, like that you guys, and mind you, we've got, you know, coaches now in, like I said before, 22 countries around the world, teaching it in languages that I don't even understand. But it's all about you. The framework is yours to play in. And what do you think the benefits of the programs are for both individuals and also companies? Because we do group coaching. And the reason why we do group coaching is so we can affect the lives of more people, you know, in a shorter amount of time. And that serves our mission of helping 10 million bucket listers live purposely fulfilled lives. That's what we're aiming to do. And that's how we lock arms with people like you. But what do you think are the benefits of these programs that you've seen? You know,
I don't want to give apologies. I don't want to give away the exercise that we do at the beginning of this program, but whether we're working with individuals or corporates, there's an exercise that we do. And after we've done an initial exercise, I literally see this immediate engagement that people, the lights come on. It's an individual and corporate teams suddenly wake up. Literally, I can't explain. They become engaged. You know,
it shocks
you
the
know
hell
what
out
I'm
of
talking
them.
about. Let's not give our secret away, but yes, so they become engaged.
Yeah.
And of course, we have to talk. For me personally, there's a return to core values. In the corporate space, we're talking about a culture. You know, if I talk about the 30 years that I spent in various organizations in leadership roles, there's always a culture in that company. So this really talks to values. You know, what are the values that you as an individual want to return to or go forward with? From a corporate point of view, what is that culture that we are instilling? So there's such a benefit in that. And then, of course, we have to focus on, we can't pretend this global pandemic is not happening.
Yeah.
This program really helps to give our people individually and as teams more mental strength to cope through this torrid time that we are all facing. So it's really that mental health, the positive mental health. It's
It's kind of our little way of
yes.
our little way of changing the conversation, and whether it be inside of our head or around the water cooler or virtually, because mental health was already bad, and now you put COVID on top of that, and it's even worse. And I've seen this for the last 10 years of being the bucket list guy. The lights really go on for a lot of people, and it's been right place, right time, and help people really craft that tangible life plan. As we say, a bucket list is a tangible life plan where our career plan or our business plan should fit into our life plan and not be the other way around. So it really brings home that work to live principle, not work-life balance, because I don't believe in work-life balance. Nothing ever balances, but work-life blend, right? And I was on another call earlier with Roderick, one of our other coaches, and he said, look, when we go run programs, you've got the Gen X's talking to the Gen Ys, and you've got the baby boomers talking to the iGens. That's a thing. That's what my 14-year-old boys are. They're iGen. I didn't even know there was an iGen. But you've got people of all backgrounds and all age levels coming together at this values match, as you say, and there's commonality within the groups, and that drastically affects communication and culture. And they start seeing each other on a completely different level and get to know each other, which is what culture is all about, right? So, that's why I encourage, anyone watching this, especially over there in South Africa, to inquire into one of your programs over there, because we run these virtually as well as face to face. And so one question I've got for you is imagine a big stadium full of people, right? I ask this of every guest. Imagine a big stadium full of people. I know this is going to happen in the future. Big stadium full of people, and you've got a raised stage at the front of that stadium with a big booming microphone. What would you love to say, and who would you choose to be in the audience?
How many people can be in the audience?
Well, we've got a stadium here in Australia called the MCG, and it holds over 100,000 people. It's one of the biggest in the world. So who do you choose to be in the audience, and what would you love to say to them?
Well, God willing, I get to that point in my life, because that is on one of my future bucket list items, to really spread the message. I will naturally have my children there. I will have, most importantly, every single person who has supported my children and I in the last 4 years, because sometimes the people who you think are going to be there aren't, and then those that people just come forward. So they would definitely be my guests, my honorary guests, and then hopefully such a full stadium, because people are looking for purpose. So, and what would I say? I would say, if I can do it, so can you. Live a life of purpose. Live a life of purpose.
And we've got Teresa once again. Doing a bucket list workshop should be on everyone's number one bucket list item, and the first bucket list tick. And we've got now a tribe of coaches around the world, which Agueda is part of, and flying the flag for us over there, which I absolutely love. And just in conclusion, how can people get in contact with you? You've got your website here. What have you got? Like, you got big plans this year, and especially you've got some stuff happening over the next 90 days, right?
I do. I really want to focus on the corporate world
Yeah.
For two reasons. One, because I've come from that world and I know how much work needs to be done. And secondly, because when I'm talking to my colleagues who are still in the corporate world, there is such a need. There is such a need, especially, it could not have come at a better time.
Yeah,
And
cool.
clearly, I'm going to keep working with individuals and groups
Yeah.
globally and local. So that's really my focus in the next 90 days, Trav.
Fantastic, fantastic. And so everyone connect with now. What is your social? Where do you mostly hang out on social media?
I'm on Facebook.
Yeah.
Facebook, more for the one-on-ones and the individuals. I absolutely love LinkedIn. So I'm on LinkedIn. I'm on Instagram. And of course, my website address is coming up at the bottom, as you can see. Thank you for putting it up, Trav.
No, and you're originally from Portugal, yeah?
My parents. So I'm first generation. I'm first generation in South Africa, and my parents are from the beautiful island of Madeira.
And I've said your first name, I don't know how many times wrong over the course of me knowing you, which I apologise. But you're saying it's Agueda.
It's Agueda.
There you go, not Agueda, because I've said that about 3 times, I think, during this interview. So Agueda Nunes.
If you don't insult me, I respond to most names. It's really okay.
It's nicer than the stuff I get called. Hey, look, Agueda, so blessed that you're part of our tribe and flying the ticket before you kick it. Here we go, the ticket before you kick it movement that we're all part of. Look at that. Oh, we got the bucket. Look at that. Where did you get that one?
I painted it. I bought it at Westpac.
There you go. There you go. Oh, awesome. Awesome. Well, don't kick it yet. Don't kick the bucket yet. So, hey, look, reach out to Agueda and all of her programs. As you've seen, if you've watched it all the way through, she's got definitely a heart of helping corporate experience. And when she's on, and she'll definitely not let your team down. And you, your family, your company maybe will get so much out of this. So, connect. And, hey, thanks a lot. You did it. We've done it. You're on all these streaming networks. We've done it live. And we've ticked that off the bucket list. And we're into another zone now. There's a bigger you now on the other side. Chill out. And, hey, look, thanks a lot for jumping on the Bucket List Live podcast. And, guys, if you're watching this, listening to this, subscribe, follow us on the socials, all the socials there, and subscribe to us on YouTube. And, by the way, if you're not aware of this right now, we've also just released the My Bucket List Blueprint. There it is. So you can actually go through and hit the bucketlistguy.com/book to pick yourself up a copy, and you can autograph that and send it over to you with a little motivational message on it too. So thanks heaps, and I'll see you next episode. Bye for now.
Thank you, Trev. Bye. Bye.